We are now into our number 4. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Congressman Brad Sherman, who was told, vote for this or we'll declare physical martial law. Ron Paul probably popping in to comment on the bailout passing. This is the banker takeover. Former Congressman Dan Hamburg joins us. Written major articles for major publications detailing how they were planning this controlled financial implosion 16 months ago. Was one of the bigger ones in the San Francisco Chronicle. He's with us for about 5 more minutes. You heard him say they're coming after the web. They're attacking the web. That's their main target. And a false flag attack that's even come out in mainstream news. They launch regulations, taxes. It's all happening. And they have their reported agents, FBI informant, their reported FBI informant, putting out a hoax that's gotten traction I've never seen. And he's put out a bunch of hoaxes before. And believe me, I don't want to get in a fight with this guy, but I have to for the Republic. Very dangerous crew around him. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a big history of white supremacists being fed. It's come out in the news, in Texas Monthly and Reuters, everywhere. It's kept very quiet, but it's out there for you saying, that all the banks are going to shut down next week. And this has gotten huge traction. They're talking about it on the street in Austin. We can combat this. Go get our article, Hoax Bank Closure Story Peddles Bailout Propaganda. Get it out to everybody you know, and fight this lie. And again, it mirrors the White House saying, do everything we say, give us all the power or depression. They want to orchestrate it to bring in their solution. Help us get the story out that martial law was threatened on Congress. Now they've signed over martial law power financially. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts said that an hour and a half ago here. I mean, we've got the key info up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Help us counter the lies. Now is the key time in the battle, because the people that are against what the criminal groups in the government are doing, these cartels. And so they're really ready to hear the truth right now. Congressman, how important is this?
You have Brad Sherman on, and when you have Ron Paul on later, I hope that you will ask them if they understand what Bush did on August 28th. When he extended the so-called state of national emergency and extended by implication, and I'm sure by law, HSPD 20 and NSPD 51. I don't believe, and I've discussed this with one of the national authorities on it, Peter Dale Scott, I don't believe that Congress is even aware of their statutory responsibilities under the National Emergencies Act to review any state of emergency declared by the President. By statute, has to be reviewed by the House and the Senate with resolutions passed to continue them every 6 months. And in nearly, what has it been, 7 years since 9/11, there has never once been a session of the House or the Senate in which the state of emergency has been even acknowledged to exist.
And Congressman, what you're saying is key. We have been on the stove with the martial law turned on simmer. They are now jacking it up to high.
Well, that's exactly right. And they do have these measures in place. In fact, we know how bad they are by what we can see. But when Peter DeFazio and Benny Thompson and members of the House Homeland Security Committee tried to find out what was in the addenda under which we, the United States of America, are being ruled, they were told that they were not going to be allowed to see this information.
And then the chairman asked for it. So as a former congressman, what does that mean when the White House, the executive, tells the legislative, which is co-equal, that they're not allowed to be involved in that? That is dictatorship of the executive.
Well, it absolutely is. And that's why I'm saying we are already under this so-called continuity of government, this COG formulation, by virtue of the fact that the Congress has become basically vestigial. Basically, the Congress is no longer a co-equal branch of the government.
Okay, we're going to end the main...
This is a good demonstration of that.
We've got to end the main interview with you, and the other congressman's coming up in about 10 minutes, but for the internet listeners and the PrisonPlanet.tv viewers, let's do 3 final minutes with you about solutions, and folks can later see that on PrisonPlanet.tv and when it's ripped all over the web. So we'll do 3 more minutes with our guest, the Honorable Congressman Dan Hamburg, and then we will get our next sitting congressman on for you as well. Okay, sir, literally, you've got the floor for the next 3 minutes. I got to multitask. I'm going to run out of here and go work on the Ron Paul deal with a call that just came in. So you got 3 minutes, Congressman, to revise and extend your remarks.
Okay. Well, I'm very glad to have a few minutes to talk to Alex's audience out there and to let them know that there are many of us out there, and even some of us who have served in Congress, who realize that bailing out the rich, that $700 billion bailouts, which could end up being much more than that, are certainly not in the interest of the people of this country. And when you hear some of the figures that are being used by people like Congressman Dennis Kucinich, who says that the overall quantity of debt that the American people are going to be shouldering for generations to come is in the many, many trillions of dollars. He actually used the figure a quarter of a quadrillion. I have never heard the term quadrillion used before. I heard Dennis Kucinich speaking of it the other day. So what they have done in a short period of time. Now remember when Clinton was in office, and I did not like Bill Clinton. In fact, it was during Clinton's second administration that I left the Democratic Party and became a member of the Green Party. But it was during those years that the country actually built up a budget surplus. And when George Bush came into office, I predicted that he would crash the economy in a short period of time, and he has done that. And you can't look at what has happened over the last 8 years and think that it was not willful. It was willful. They do have a very strange plan in place under which they will become more powerful and we will become less powerful. And our constitutional rights have been compromised again and again and again. Our role as taxpayers has become compromised to where the people are paying for the sins of the few and the greed and the corruption of the few. And we have to put a stop to it. We simply have to say no. We may, in a short period of time, have to not only say no, but speak no in ways that we have never been called on to do before.
All right, the gentleman's time has expired. We're going to come back to the full audience. I want you to plug your great websites with a lot of information. We'll close this out. Here we go.
Enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, Congressman, in closing, tell us about a couple of your websites. People can check out some of the articles you've written and the research you've done, documenting everything you've been saying.
Myself and my co-author, Louis Seiler, we have several articles that are up on our website, many articles, www.voiceoftheenvironment.org. Also, www.voteaction.org. You can see the articles we've written. A recent article we wrote on state of emergency the last 6 months of the Bush administration. Many of the things that we were talking about in that article, sadly, now seem to be coming to pass.
And we need all the major papers that aren't fully controlled to report on this now and expose what's happening. It is really the end of the republic unless we use this attempted putsch, this junta, to expose these criminals and remove them. Congressman, thank you so much for spending time with us.
It's my pleasure, Alex. Good luck.
Yeah, good night and good luck, and God bless you. Take care.